Hi everyone, welcome back to Endo Meets Us, the show where we talk all things endometriosis, the honest, the raw, and sometimes the ridiculous, and everything else in between.
We firstly wanted to thank you all so much for listening to our first episode. We were
So much love,
so much love.
overwhelmed.
And obviously, it was our first one, so it was a lot, but we just
we did it.
We did it, and
We
thank
did
you so
it.
much for listening. It really, it meant a lot.
It really did. So today's a special one. Well, the next two are special ones. We're going to kind of do a deep dive into Mim and I's journey. We'll start with Mim's. It's going to be a lot.
Yeah, it will be. But this is why we have this podcast.
Do you know what I forgot? Tissues.
Oh, do you want me to get you some?
No, it's fine.
Are you sure?
We'll be fine.
Okay, it's fine. It's raw.
It's raw. It's raw.
Let's get into it, shall we?
Yeah. This episode is about keeping it real because we know how isolating this illness can feel. We're going to talk about symptoms, surgeries, misdiagnoses, and all the messy bits people often leave out. And yes, we'll laugh because if you don't laugh, you'll cry. And I feel like that's now our
motto.
Our catchphrase.
Yeah.
In life.
Goes without saying.
Yeah. Yes. I know. Oh my God.
Oh.
Okay, so Mim, do you want to tell us all how it started for you?
Alrighty. Well, I guess
that's a loaded question.
It's a very loaded question, Tash.
Yeah.
Look, I would say it started when my period came.
Yeah.
I got my period quite early in life. I think I was about 14 when I got it. And I remember it being, obviously as the years went on, but I remember it being really heavy and quite painful. And I remember as well, when my friends started getting their periods, no one was really like complaining about it. Like, they'd be like, oh, like I bled for a day or two and then nothing. And I was like bleeding really heavily and I had pain, but I was like, okay, maybe this is just normal.
Yeah.
And that's just, it is what it is. As I kind of got older, let's say 15, 16, I started getting things like really bad exhaustion, nausea, severe bloating. And actually one of my girlfriends the other day, I was talking to her about it, and she was like, I remember when we were 16 and you'd always have a really sore and hard belly and we never really knew why, And again, we don't know what's right and wrong at this age. So we're just kind of like, okay, this is what it is. And then things like certain foods would bring on this bloating. And again, I was like, okay, I don't know what's going on, like whatever. And then I started getting really severe pain. And I think this was maybe when I became like sexually active, like 16, 17. And I'd always have really bad, what we thought UTIs. So it was like really severe pain. I'd go to hospital and I would go to hospital like, I don't know, 10 times a year. And it would always be, you're just having a bad period or you've got a bad UTI, and I'd come home. So a lot of the time as well, it was a burst cyst. That did happen quite a few times. But yeah, it was just, no one really knew what happened.
Yeah, no one talking about it.
Yeah, and I remember it just feeling really isolating because I was also like, no one really believed me, I don't think, at this point. And I think like even my mum might have thought, oh, cry wolf. Like,
just bad period pain.
Yeah, like everyone. So it started to feel a bit like, okay, maybe I just don't talk about it and this is just my norm. And this is just, maybe people just do this and they don't talk about it as much as I do. Like they're just dealing with it. I don't know. Yeah. So it's kind of how it started for me, I guess. Yeah.
That's so wild, like in and out of hospital and just being dismissed, feeling like you're crazy.
Yeah.
Like you just can't talk about it.
And I also think as well with that, I've gone to hospital so many times. Surely, like they've got my records there.
Yeah, surely they're like, something is wrong.
Something's wrong.
Something's wrong. This poor girl should not be in hospital in pain this many times.
Yeah.
And your mum was just, obviously she didn't know.
She didn't know. Like, no one knew. I think she just thought, or maybe she just has really bad period pains. Like, Like no one knew.
No one knew.
Or cysts. I think we kind of broke it down to the fact that maybe I've just got cysts, which again is a sign of endo, but back then maybe, this is, God, how old am I? 30. This is like
A long
A
time.
long time ago. I don't want to do the math. I don't want to know.
Oh my God, exactly. So how long did it actually take till you got your diagnosis?
It was definitely over a decade.
Yeah.
In and out of hospital so many times, and it wasn't until I had just started dating my now husband, and we were about 6 months into being together. So everything was like very fresh, and you're kind
New
of
and exciting.
and you're kind of like in that phase of like being you're not very comfortable, right? Yet. So I woke up one morning. We'd gone out the night before just for dinner, and I woke up the next morning, and I was like, oh my God, I'm in so much pain. But I don't really want to tell Dane yet because, so I kind of excused myself and went to the bathroom. And as I was walking downstairs to the bathroom, I was like, I actually can't walk. Something's wrong. Something's wrong. Like, I'm not okay. And I went to the bathroom, sat on the toilet, and then just vomited. And, like when you're in so much pain, your body just like, it's just like, let's just vomit.
It's got to get it out. Your body's like,
I've got to get rid of this. So I vomited. And as I vomited, it was TMI, but like bright green. I was like, oh, maybe I've got food poisoning. Yeah. We'd had like a chicken burger or something the night before. And then the pain just worsened to the point where I was like, I don't know what to do. So I laid on the bathroom floor, like on the cold, and I actually started like convulsing.
Oh my God.
Convulsing is probably a bit of a hectic word, but like my whole body was like shaking. Just uncontrollably shaking. And then Dane obviously comes down and he's like, what the fuck? Like, what do I do? And he called an ambulance because he had ridden his motorbike over the night before, so he couldn't drive me. Yeah. And I think that was actually a bit of a savior because they came to me and like gave me fentanyl.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, great.
And I went to hospital. So again, hospital's like, oh, you've probably just got food poisoning. We'll send you home. And then about a week later, I went to my GP just to talk about what had happened, give her my doctor's notes or whatever. And she said to me, have you ever heard of endometriosis? And at this point, I hadn't. I had never really heard of it. And I was like, no, like, what is that? And she's like, oh, it's, which is wrong information. I think she said something like, it's when your uterus grows on the outside or whatever they say about your uterus being, the lining of your uterus growing on the outside, which is not correct. Right?
Yeah, not correct, but she
said something
like back then. That was what they believed it was. It was the uterus lining. Yeah, that had somehow made its way outside of the uterus. Which
just isn't right. So I was 25 at this point, so she sent me off to a specialist, and he asked me all the questions, and he said, "I think you've got it." And then we just booked in for a deep endo infiltrating scan.
Yeah.
Deep infiltrating endo scan.
Endo scan.
And a lot of the time you can't see endo on a scan.
No.
But you could on this one. He was like, there's a lot in there. Let's do surgery.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So there was enough in there to show up on the scan.
Yeah.
That it's very rare for it to show up in a scan.
It is very rare. Yeah.
Which was actually maybe a savior in a way, not like a savior, but mentally going into that surgery, you already had like the knowledge of what you're going in for.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But even at this point, my surgeon at the time, he didn't really explain much to me.
No.
He was just like,
they just think that you understand.
Yeah. And he said he mentioned ablation and excision, but I didn't know anything about that at this point either. Yeah. And to be honest, I thought I was in the best of hands. I don't need to do my research because I've got this amazing surgeon. So
you trust the professional.
Yeah. So that was kind of the beginning of that, I suppose.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think let's pause for a second because this is so common. It takes so long for most people to get diagnosed with endometriosis, and it's not in your head. So if you do feel like it's not normal, that amount of pain, you should definitely
absolutely keep
pushing.
Advocate for yourself.
Yes.
It really shouldn't take that long. And I'm really hoping as the years go on, it won't
take
that long.
No.
But yeah.
All right. So let's talk surgery because you've had 3.
I have.
So at this point, you're surgery pro.
Surgery queen, yeah. So let's start with my first surgery experience. It was delayed. So I had a private surgeon, but at the time I was super broke. I had no money, so I had to go public, which again is a whole another thing in itself, which I think we'll dive deep into another episode. But I had to wait maybe like 4 or 5 months or something, but it was this anticipation of like the unknown. And at the time I was working for this really beautiful company and they actually paid for half of my surgery.
That's amazing.
I know, it was honestly like,
yeah. That's so amazing.
Yeah, it saved me really because I was just like, I just don't know what I'm going to do. You know, like I was like living week to week.
Yeah.
It's like, how do I come up with $6,000?
Yeah, it's a lot of money.
Like what? How do I do that?
So they paid. Do you went private or public?
I went public.
Yeah.
With a private surgeon. Yeah. So you can do all different types. But yeah, he usually works out of a private hospital. Yeah. But he was like, we can take you public. That's fine. But that does mean it's a wait. You're kind of like on a wait list.
Yes. Yeah.
So that was really lovely. My first surgery was during COVID.
Yeah.
Like just after the lockdown. So everything was on my own.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I just remember Dane dropped me off and we both just stood out the front of the hospital crying because he couldn't come inside. And I think that was kind of the moment where I was like, oh my God, like this is really scary. And I heard like, you know, and you've also got to fast and do bowel prep, which no one talks about and no one really tells you how intense that part of it is too.
Yeah,
like,
it's quite intense on your body.
Yeah, it's like 2 days of no solid food. And you've got to do this thing called pico prep, which is just...
You basically can't leave your house. You have to be near a toilet.
For 2 days.
For 2 days?
Yeah.
And you need the toilet.
The toilet.
You really need the toilet.
And I got really bad headaches and I didn't think I could have Panadol or anything either. So like, but you can. And none of this was explained. So it was all a bit of a learning for me, obviously, and it would be for most people. But yeah, it was a lot. So I went in there. I was feeling so nervous. I actually like when they were like wheeling me into the theater, I was like, I can't do this. Like get me out of there. And they actually had to sedate me because I was like having a full mental breakdown.
It's like the reality of what was really happening was kind of hitting at that point.
And you're kind of lying there while someone else is in surgery and they're finishing up on them. And you're like, you're hearing like the beep, 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 and they're all finishing up. And I'm like, I don't know, that's going to be me in a minute. You know, like this is not okay.
They should put you in a calming room, sedate you in a calming room before taking you into the very sterile. And it's quite sterile. Obviously, it has to be sterile and you want it to be sterile, but it is quite confronting.
It is quite confronting.
Especially when you are alone being dropped off at the front of the hospital.
Yeah, and you've got like your little gown and your socks on.
Yeah,
and
your gown.
Like,
you're
I'm
very
so vulnerable.
Yeah.
So that was that. And then woke up from surgery in a lot of pain, but you've obviously got all the drugs, so that helps.
Yeah.
And my surgeon calls me and he said there was a lot more endo in there than we kind of anticipated. He said, I've been doing this for a really long time and your case is one of the worst I've ever seen.
Wow.
Yeah, and it was just a bit like, honestly, I cried of happiness, which I know sounds so strange.
I think anyone who has had the same situation of being validated that you're not crazy will completely understand the feeling of.
Yeah, it was just kind of like, oh my God, I have an answer.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, thank God, because if we came here and nothing was found or there was only a tiny little bit, then I don't know what I would have done mentally. Yeah. But he was like, yeah, there was a lot. And, you know, it was on my bladder, my pouch of Douglas, fallopian tubes, both ovaries were attached to my pelvic wall.
Yeah, pelvic wall.
It was everywhere. There were big cysts. Like, it was a lot. And when I saw the photos, it was just like black.
Yeah. Inside. Oh my God. Very confronting.
Super confronting.
Very confronting.
Yeah. I also want to mention the gas pain.
Yeah. The gas pain
in your shoulders.
It's a lot. No one actually
like
really prepares you for that pain.
If you're going in for surgery, take a heat pack for your shoulders.
Yeah, definitely a heat pack for your shoulders. Peppermint tea.
Yeah, D-gas tablets.
Yeah.
I didn't know any of this first time around and I was like, oh my God, you're like this hard ball of gas. Your whole body is just like gas. You
Yeah.
also got to pass that gas.
It's also like you don't expect to have shoulder pain. You're like,
No.
I'm in pain all over my body. Like, why do my shoulders have to hurt when you
Yeah.
didn't touch my
Is
shoulders?
it like the gas? They obviously pump you with gas to do the surgery, so it travels up into your shoulders. And
Yeah.
that was just,
And it can take days for that to absorb or
Yeah.
like pass through your system.
yeah.
And you're alone in hospital at this point.
Yeah, I was. Yeah, and I was in hospital for a few days, and obviously I couldn't have any visitors either. So that was
No.
yeah, it was really hard. And I actually remember when Dane finally picked me up and we went home, which, by the way, take a pillow in the car.
Definitely take a pillow in the car, even 2 pillows.
Yeah, one on your belly.
Yeah, one under your bum.
Yeah, just because you cannot have the seatbelt over
Touching
your belly. We went to his parents' house, and he, went and said hi to his parents, and I went into the bedroom and just burst into tears.
Oh,
I was like, this is just, what have I just been through?
yeah.
Yeah, so that was number one, and recovery was really rough. I reckon I had 2 weeks off work, but it was about 6 weeks of, I couldn't really move much. I mean, you know what it's like. It's
like you're relearning your new body.
Yeah,
in a
and
way.
everything feels different, and
Yeah.
you're exhausted because your body's working overtime to heal.
Definitely. Which I also want to stop for a minute and acknowledge that even though it's laparoscopy and it's small incisions, you look at yourself and you're like, there's these tiny little holes, and they make it sound like it's keyhole and like you can be in and out in a day. But it is major surgery. They've touched every organ in your abdomen.
They've pushed them around.
They've cut. They've burnt bits. Like it is a major surgery, and it does take a while to heal.
And that's something that needs to be spoken about more too.
I think
it is
so.
major. It's not just a little keyhole. Like, whoop, it's huge.
And again, it's like endo's already invisible, and then you have this surgery where you're also like, it shouldn't hurt that much. I don't have a massive incisions. Like,
and people have said like, oh, it's laparoscopy, like keyhole surgery, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
No, until you've been through it, like don't.
Yeah.
It's really hard.
Yeah, don't comment on it.
Yeah. So that was number one.
Yeah.
Post surgery, so when he's like stitching me up or whatever, my surgeon injected my belly with a thing called Zoladex.
Okay.
And we had spoken about this before surgery, and he said to me, I'm just going to inject Zoladex into your belly. It will kind of put your ovaries to sleep. That's how he described it. And it will help with the healing, and it won't be so painful. I was like, yes, absolutely, you do that.
Yeah, definitely. Again, you're trusting your surgeon, who obviously knows more.
Yeah, and I didn't question it. I was like, yep, that sounds great. I've also never really been on like hormone, like I've never done contraceptive or anything.
Yes.
So I mean, I have, but not for long. So I don't know. I just didn't think to look into this. I was like, maybe this is something everyone does after surgery. If anyone mentions Zoladex to you, do not do it. It was like, he basically put my body into menopause.
That's so, because I've never heard about.
Yeah.
What is it called again? Zoladex.
It was fucked.
So he didn't just like, he was just like, this is what I would recommend.
He said it will put
like
your
it'll
ovaries
benefit
to sleep.
you.
It'll be great. It'll give your body time to heal.
Yeah. And of course, you're also young at this point. You don't think about what that could mean, putting your ovaries to sleep, like what that could mean for your body.
No. I was like, great. I literally had mood swings, hot flushes, weight gain, headaches, insomnia, night sweats. I had every menopausal symptom that there is.
And were you like, what is going on? Like, this is not normal.
At this point, I was like, I don't, if this is how I'm going to live, like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Like, this is not normal. And obviously I'm also recovering from surgery.
Yeah. So you don't even know what normal is. So there's probably a point where you're like, okay, this must be normal recovery.
Yeah.
And then it gets to a point where you're like, wait, this is not normal. But again, it's like you've already been through trying to get answers for one thing.
It was I can't even really explain it. It was dark, and it went for about 3 months.
Wow.
Yeah. And then I finally kind of came off that. I also headaches, nausea, loss of libido, like everything went. And I was just like, And I didn't really actually put it down to the Zoladex until a little bit later.
Yeah. Well, because he injected it into your stomach. So it's kind of like you didn't see it happen. Mm-hmm. You knew it happened, but you didn't really see it happen. Really, it's not like you're taking something every day. So it's not like the front of mind.
Yeah. Yeah.
So of course you'd be like, just forgot about it.
Yeah.
Like you were just like, yeah.
It was fucked. So if ever anyone mentions Zoladex, please do not do it. It was horrific.
That's really, emotional and physically exhausting.
Like, body image is such a thing already with endo, and I'll talk about that a bit later. But I put on all of this water weight from it, like, and then so I kind of lost my physical self too. Yes. So it was emotional, it was physical, it was like, I was like, oh my God, I've just completely lost myself. Like, what's happened to me? Yeah. Yeah, it was really hard.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
It makes me want to cry.
It's okay. You're okay. So yeah, and then 6 months go by. I'm obviously recovered from the Zoladex, and I'm in pain again. And my pain felt like nothing I'd ever really experienced before. Mm-hmm. And I think I'm now putting that down to scar tissue.
Yes.
And things like that. But also endo.
Yeah.
So I went back to see my specialist.
The same specialist who did your first surgery.
Yeah. And I said, I don't feel good. Something's not right. And he said, there's no way. There's no way it's going back. We got it all.
He's like, I did my job. Got it all.
He's like, we did it. What are you talking about? Anyway, sends me off for another scan. Lo and behold, there's more endo in there.
There's more. Which, if it shows up on the scan, it means that it really is deep infiltrating endo. Yes. And which is, 6 months after your surgery, you technically, if it was done correctly, should not have.
That should not have happened.
Should not have happened.
So he says to me, all right, now you're not going to be able to fall pregnant naturally. What's your plan with that?
And how old are you at this time?
I think I'm 26 at this point.
So really, like, you haven't
really... 27. I can't, I'm young.
You're young. You've, like, met Dane. You've fallen in love. Like, have you even thought about kids at this point?
We've spoken about it because we kind of had to when the endo diagnosis came up. But, like, we're not ready. No. Like, we've got so much we want to do before kids at this point. But I've always wanted to be a mum. Being a mum is like, I'm on this planet to be a mum. Like, that's why I'm here. So that was like, I don't think I've ever felt heartbreak.
Yeah.
Like that. It was like, okay, well, fuck, what do we do?
Yeah.
And so he says, all right, we're going to get eggs frozen. So crying. We're going to get eggs frozen. And I said, cool, whatever it takes.
Yeah.
And so he refers me to egg freezing, whole thing. And he says to me, because you've got to inject your body for 10 days or whatever with hormones twice a day or 3 times a day for your eggs to grow and then get them out. So he says the injections cause rapid endo growth. So we've got to do it before surgery.
Wow.
Yeah. And I was like, okay, cool, whatever, let's go. So this was in like July, a couple of years ago now. And I go and it comes to surgery day, getting my eggs removed. Also, by the way, the injections are fucked.
Well, I feel like you've been on this, you've gone through this whole hormonal journey, feeling every premenopausal symptom, and then you're being faced with having to inject yourself with more hormones.
Yeah, and these hormones apparently actually trick your mind into thinking you're pregnant.
Wow.
So you have a lot of like pregnancy symptoms.
Yes.
And look, I've not been pregnant, so I can't say that for a fact. But apparently, like all of these hormones, like they're fluctuating, like it's a lot. So I'm kind of going through all of this. It was fucking emotional. Like I was trying to work full time while injecting myself, and I actually remember just like completely shutting out. Like I would be at work and I would just not speak to anyone. And my boss at the time was actually like, "Are you okay? Like, what's going on?" And I was like, I'm just numb at this point. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
You had so much thrown at you. Yeah. Like you just can't process it anymore.
Yeah. And not only am I getting surgery again, but I'm also retrieving eggs because I can't fall pregnant. Like, what?
Yeah.
What? Like, that's two massive things.
Huge things. And have you even really comprehended it at that point? Like, has it
No.
really...
It's all happened
You're
so
just kind of
quickly.
doing step after step, like what
I'm
you're
just being
told
told what to do, and I'm doing
you're just
it.
following this journey.
Yeah, yeah.
And trusting the people that are professionals.
So it gets to surgery day,
Yeah.
and I'm like, thank God, no more injections. And it doesn't take long. It takes like 20 minutes, half an hour to retrieve eggs. So you're in the under for a little bit. I wake up, and I'm like, how did it go? And they're like, not good. You only got 5 eggs, but only 3 of them are viable.
Wow.
Yeah. And she was like, I kind of was still coming out of anesthetic. So at this point I was like, okay. And then I asked later, I was like, how many does someone of my age normally get?
Yeah.
And they were like 20 to 30 is probably the normal amount. Yeah. And I was like, what? How could that be? You know?
Yeah.
And she said, well, you probably could have injected for a couple more days. And I'm like,
but why did no one
say that
to
like,
you?
because you get a scan, like an internal scan a couple of days before your egg retrieval.
Yeah.
And they were like, yep, you're good to go. I also want to preface, it's really fucking expensive. Like, it's over 10 grand to get your eggs retrieved. So not only is it a mental toll and physical toll, it's financial.
Yeah.
And so at this point I'm like, okay.
Yeah, that's kind of like a cop-out to say that afterwards. Like, you could have just injected for a couple more days.
Yeah.
It's
like, and then they were like, well, we can go another round. I'm like, no, we can't. I can't afford it.
Yeah, I can't afford it.
Like, no, we can't go another round.
And also your body needs time to heal. Your brain needs time to heal.
And so a couple months go by and we go surgery number 2. So this is all within the span of a year. I just want to preface. So surgery 1, egg retrieval, surgery 2. It's a year and a half. It's not been long.
Did the surgeon, because I'm really interested in the Zoladex, if that had affected as well your egg retrieval, like if it had put your ovaries to sleep. Like, I don't know. I'm not a medical professional, but
I've actually not thought that before. But you're probably right. Yeah, because it was also close together.
Yeah, if it puts you into those premenopausal symptoms,
then how are you?
Yeah,
That's actually a really good point. Yeah, probably.
Just seems.
I just felt like I was getting pushed and shoved to all these specialists.
Yeah.
And they were all just making money off me at this point.
Yes.
Like, that's
which I think people don't think that would ever happen. Like, you never think that, but I think you have to treat your specialists like they are trying to make money off you and really question them.
Which is really sad, but
it's really hard to do as well.
Yeah.
And also, you don't know. You're just trying to do what's best.
Yeah. And also, like, I'm still paying for this bloody egg rent every month. Like,
your 3 eggs are living the good life in a freezer.
It's like $50 a month.
That's wild.
I know. Gosh. Anyway, that happened. Had surgery again, and so I got diagnosed with stage 4 for the second time round. Yeah. I also want to preface here, getting diagnosed with a different stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, stage 4, it doesn't matter. You could have the same symptoms if you're stage 1, if you're stage 2. It's just, I think, their way of measuring how extensive your endo is.
Yes.
But it doesn't lessen your symptoms at all. So, yeah, I just want to make sure that that's clear. I also want to mention my surgeon this time round knew what he was going in for. So he already knew my body. He knew what he'd seen before, but hadn't really mentioned anything about my bowel, which I'll go back into later.
Yep.
He had said, there was a little bit on your bowel, but, nothing
just
to
brush
worry
it
about.
off.
Yeah. And I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. So yeah, had surgery, round 2 again, terrible recovery, but we got there. And I was like, okay, hopefully this is my last one.
Yeah. Yes, well, you think it would be.
Yeah. Like, surely we've got it all by now.
Yeah. You're like, oh my gosh, I'm going to heal and I'm going to be a new person. Yeah. That's so crazy.
Yeah.
So it's not just the physical pain, because like it's a lot, the physical pain is a lot. It's also the mental toll.
Yeah.
How did it affect your mental health going through the past year.
Yeah, honestly, at this point, I think I was grieving my old life a little bit. Yes, I was always in pain, but I think because I didn't know what was wrong, that was just my norm. But then at this point, it was like, okay, no, you've got a chronic illness. So coming to terms with that was really hard. And then just trying to navigate like everyday normal life, like still
Yes.
working full time and having a social life and having a partner and like all of these things, and also looking after myself. Like it was really hard. And I actually, my mental health declined majorly after my second surgery, to the point where I got very depressed, very anxious. I was anxious all the time, to the point where I actually had a bit of a nervous breakdown and quit my job.
Yeah.
At the time, and had no job to go to or anything. I was just like, I actually couldn't think straight. Like I'd be at work and I was trying to do my best, and then I'd be in pain, but I didn't want to tell anyone. And it was just it was like, I can't keep this brave face on. And I actually went to work one day and said to my boss, I can't do this anymore, and I quit.
Which is huge.
Yeah, and I'd worked at my job for like 4.5 years.
Yeah.
I loved it. Like I had a breakdown.
It was just too much.
I was having a nervous breakdown and I didn't know what to do. And then about a couple of months later, I went to my GP and or a month later, I was like, I'm not okay. And she looked at me and said, you need antidepressants. This is like, I was like in the doctor's room, like shaking. Like, she's like, we're not leaving this room until you say yes to an anti-anxiety, antidepressant. So I did that. And that has helped me drastically.
Yeah.
So I'm still on them. It's been about a year now. And I was super anti them to begin with. I was like, no, I'm fine. Like I was not fine.
No. Which I think we should talk about this more too.
Absolutely.
And I think like antidepressants is still taboo. I think it's getting more spoken about now, which is really great.
Yes, there's such a stigma.
They're such a tool, and
they're honestly incredible. Like I wake up in the morning and I'm like, yay, like anti-anxiety. And there's been a couple of days where I've missed it and I can feel it in my body. Like my anxiety will come back and I feel a bit low, which I don't want to be on it forever. But my doctor actually said the other day, it's really good for people with endo because it helps block something in our brains, like a pain. It's like a pain blocker. Look, I'm not a GP. I can't explain it. So I thought that was really interesting. So
yeah, that is interesting.
Yeah, and I'm not going to say that it absolutely does block your pain because
I mean, I saw you a couple of weeks ago. Delivered some pain medication.
Exactly. But yeah, so apparently it's meant to help kind of ease it a little bit.
Yeah, that's so interesting. So just another tool to add to that toolkit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, we'd definitely talk about that more.
I think, we could do an episode on that.
I think we'd do a whole episode on that.
Yeah. Lock it in. All right, so that's number 2.
So now surgery number 3.
So I want to say about 8 months ago, maybe a bit longer, I was like, this is not right. I'm in pain again. I've done all of the things I can do to ease it, and I'm not okay. So I went to my GP and I said, I want a second opinion. I want to see someone else.
Very smart.
Yeah, and I think this is also something that you should always do if you're not so sure. Go and get a second opinion, because that first piece of advice or whatever, it might not be for you or your surgeon. I don't know. I just think always advocate for second opinions if you feel like you need it. So she referred me to a professor, which I was like, okay, cool. This sounds a bit more like, I go and see him. And as soon as I walked into his office, I felt at ease.
Oh,
he was incredible. He sat me down. He showed me charts of bodies and how things are functioning and why certain things are doing certain things and why my pain's doing this. And he's so smart. Like he sat there and you could see his eyes like moving while he was thinking. It was like he could see this big chart like in front of him.
You could see your whole body. He was mapping it out.
I was like, this is wild to me. And his first question to me was, why did you get your eggs frozen?
Interesting. That was his first. Yeah.
And I said, my previous surgeon said to. And he said, but why? And I said, well, because he said I wasn't fertile. And he said, but you've never tried.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Were you just like blame
whoa.
bro? I
was like, that's a really good point.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, no, I haven't.
Yeah.
So he was like, that probably didn't need to happen.
Didn't need to happen. So that 10 grand you probably could have saved for later.
Could have gone overseas.
I mean, who knows? Those eggs.
One of those eggs might be my baby one day.
One of those eggs might be your baby one day.
So that was really interesting. Anyway, so we booked in for surgery. Before we booked in for surgery, he said, because I got another scan.
Yeah.
He said my cervix had flipped under my bowel.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Which you could see from the scan.
Yes.
So my cervix had flipped under my bowel and it was stuck.
Okay.
It was like glued together. And then he said, I can see a lot on your bowel too.
Wow.
And he said it, like from the scan, it looks like it's quite extensive. So we need to get a bowel surgeon involved.
Yes. Okay.
And at this point I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah. You were like, mate, why didn't old mate pick that up?
Literally.
Like he was inside your body.
Yeah. And I said that to him. I was like, why has this not been picked up prior?
Yeah.
And he said, your other surgeon might not have had the correct team.
Yes, which I think also is important to note that a lot of gynecologists doing surgeries on endometriosis aren't specialists in endometriosis. They're gynecologists. They deliver babies. They do other things.
They're not
fertility. They're not specialists, and they can't actually identify all types of endometriosis.
Exactly.
Because it can show up in different colors. Like it's not just black. It can be other colors.
Yes.
So
you said it was like blue the other day.
Yeah, it can be blue. It can be red. It can be different colors.
Yeah.
So it's also making sure your surgeon can identify the different types.
Exactly. And I think my third surgeon, like he knows so much about it. I was like, you are like an encyclopedia of endo.
Yeah, love that.
He is incredible. I highly recommend him. Anyway, so he's like, we need to get in there. We're going to get a colorectal surgeon. And at this point I was like, I'm really scared. I don't want to get bowel surgery. Like, what? This is becoming like major surgery. And so I went and saw the bowel surgeon that he works alongside, and he kind of said to me, there's a lot of risks that come with bowel surgery, and, you know, laid them out. And one of them was you might wake up with a stoma bag.
Oh, so heavy.
Yeah. And I was like, of course, whatever has to be will be.
Well, yeah, it's not like they're telling you the risks, but still not like you have a choice, because if you leave it in your body.
Exactly. And I will just go back and say, like, going to the bathroom has always been a real struggle. Like, it's always been painful. So it made sense that it was on my bowel.
Yes.
And so, of course, I was like, well, if that's going to take the pain away, then that's okay. But it's also a massive mental load.
Huge mental load.
Yeah. And he said, there's also like, you know, you might not even need me in surgery. I'm just going to be on standby.
Yes.
And when your surgeon goes in, he will tell me. It's like, cool. Hopefully that's the case.
Yeah, hopefully you're just sitting there on the
you're just like a spectator.
Yeah.
I don't need you. Yeah. Anyway, so surgery gets booked in, and it's for the 2nd of December, just gone, so 2024. And we do it. And I wake up. Surgery went for about 4 hours.
Yeah.
So very, very long surgery for endo surgery. And yeah, stage 4, it was everywhere. He said that there was a lot of old lesions inside too that hadn't ever been removed. And most things were ablated.
Yeah.
Ablation is when they just burn it off the surface. So excision is what you want.
Yes. So that's like the gold standard. Mm-hmm. So that makes sense why it kept showing up in your scan as deep infiltrated, because you never, so basically ablation is like imagine a weed and you're just burning or mowing off the top.
You're not cutting it.
You're not actually pulling out the roots. So the roots are still growing.
Yeah.
So that's why after 6 months, you're still in so much pain.
Yeah. And he said it looked like there had been some excision.
Yeah,
but
so it did a mix. Yeah.
Yeah. And again, like my ovaries were stuck to my walls, and it was like I had just relived the last 2 years again. And I was like, this is fucked. And he said, and you know, the bowel surgeon was involved. And at this point my stomach sunk because I hadn't even like checked my belly or anything. I was like, okay. And he said he was able to shave it off. I was like,
what does that mean?
I was like, shave my bowel
Shave
off.
what up?
And he said he was able to shave the endometriosis off and just cut little bits, but he didn't have to like completely, I can't remember what the word is.
Yeah, so he didn't have to like
He didn't have to cut into the bowel too much,
which
meant
is great.
yes. But it did mean it left scarring on my bowel, so now I'm still having some issues.
Yes.
But that's okay. Anyway, so yeah, bowel involvement. This time he's like, I actually have got it all. I'm like, amazing. Yay. This is great. I was in hospital for 4 days. I went private this time.
Yes.
And my God, it makes such a difference.
Yeah.
Oh God, if you can go private, do it. If you don't, yeah. It just, my last 2 were public and it was just not a very nice experience.
Yeah, it's hard. Which again is like, we need more funding.
Yeah.
In our system, because it's so, there shouldn't be such a disparity between the private and public system when it comes to endometriosis surgery.
No. Like I had my own room in private, and you know I could stay there as long as I felt I needed and everything. And in public, like you're in a room with 6 other people, they're looking after so many people, and I just think, like I got dismissed after day 1 of being in hospital from being in public.
Yeah.
Whereas I was in private for 4 days, and you need to be in hospital. Like you're on a lot of painkillers. You're in an immense amount of pain. Like you can't stand up.
You can't go to the bathroom by yourself properly.
No.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. You've got a catheter. Like it's a lot. Like Tash said, like it's major surgery.
Yeah, it really is major surgery. I feel like.
Yeah. So anyway, that was 6 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I have been in pain ever since.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I actually saw my surgeon 8 weeks after surgery, and he was like, I'm in pain. I'm not feeling good. And he said, no, it's good. It means everything's working really well. Like everything's functioning. And I was like, okay, that ain't good for me though.
Yeah. That doesn't help my quality of life.
No.
Like you're still in pain.
Yeah. So I'm going to actually get a scan this Monday.
Okay.
Another deep endo I can't never say it.
The deep
infiltrating endo scan.
Yes. Okay.
To see what's going on.
To see what's happening. Yeah.
So yeah, it
is also like, which they don't talk about either, surgery creates scar tissue.
Yeah.
Which is adhesions, which can stick together and stick to your organs. So the more surgeries that you have, the more scar tissue you have. So it's kind of like this catch-22 as well.
It is.
Which scar tissue also causes pain in your body.
Yeah.
So it's just like...
It's
just... Yeah.
It just keeps going. Anyway, so
let's see what happens on Monday.
Let's see what happens on Monday. And I also want to acknowledge here, it isn't normal to have this many surgeries. I think I've been a little bit unlucky with my journey. And, you know, I think if you've got a really great specialist, you might only ever need to get 1 or 2, but not this close together. I think it's just been...
3 surgeries in 3 years is a lot mentally, a lot physically.
It's like I'm constantly healing.
Financially, yeah.
And then I'm going for it again.
Yes.
You know, so I don't think I've ever really felt completely well in the last 3 years because it's just been a lot. But I'm hoping that I don't need to get another one. If I do, I'm going to try and push it out a little bit.
Yes.
But yeah, that's kind of my surgery story.
So what is life look like for you today?
Look, I have a beautiful life. I love my life. But I definitely struggle with like my energy levels. Body image is a really hard thing for me as well. I've always been like really into exercise, and you know, that's something that kind of keeps me sane.
Yeah.
But because I struggle with pain so much, there's only so much exercise I can do. And then when I can't exercise because I'm in pain, I kind of have this mental struggle of my body. So that's something I'm kind of working on now. And I think a lot of people with endo would feel that way as well. You know, it's just kind of this cycle of like, I don't feel good and I also can't do what I love doing.
Yeah.
So what the fuck?
Yeah, it's heartbreaking.
Yeah. It's also hard on career as well, like trying to do well at work and then not really wanting your workplace to know too much that you're struggling, but at the same time needing that support. I really struggle with that work-life balance in that sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure you would understand that
Yeah.
too.
Yes, I really struggle with
Yeah.
work-life balance.
Yeah, it's hard. And as well, I'm like, any time that I'm taking off like annual leave or anything, it's usually for surgeries. Like,
Yeah.
so I'm not really getting much of a break.
No.
Or if I am going on holidays, it's always unpaid because I've used all of my paid leave. So like that's really hard as well with work. And then as well, like the financial pressures
Are huge.
Yeah.
They're so huge.
Yeah.
And
like my husband and I, yeah, my now husband, like it's a lot on us, you know.
it's a lot. It's also, I feel like, a part that's isolating because while your friends are out going on holidays, buying new things, everything, all your money is just funneled into
Endo.
surgeries, specialist appointments.
Like this scan on
Endo.
Monday, it's $500. Like,
Yeah.
and that's pretty standard for any specialist appointment. Like,
It is.
I think the year of my second surgery, I spent like 30 grand
Yeah.
on appointments.
I feel like that's if you're going through endo and you're on your, that's actually normal.
Yeah.
Like what you would be probably
No one has that
spending.
kind of money.
No one has that kind of money. And you're right. Like a scan is $500.
And that's a scan, and then you've got to see a specialist, and then at the moment I'm seeing a dietitian to help with my flare-ups. Like that's $250 a session, and then I've got a physio, and I've got all of these things. So it's like I'm almost spending like $1,000 a week some weeks.
Yeah.
Like we don't have $1,000 for medical appointments, you know. So we've got to try and find that money, and yeah, it's hard. So that I would say that's probably our biggest struggle. Is managing that. And yeah, I just want to like Dane is so supportive and incredible and drops anything for me. So that's, you know, it's amazing. So shout out to Dane.
Yeah, shout out to Dane.
We love him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess that's kind of my impact on my daily life and trying to just remain social and see all my friends and work and exercise and
just live a normal life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do all the normal things.
Do all the normal things.
If you could talk to the you before diagnosis, what would you say to her?
I would say to her that you are not imagining it. Yeah. You are not crazy. And just keep pushing for answers because you will get there and you will finally be heard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's my story.
Wow.
So heavy.
And like I feel like it's still just like the top line of your story. Like there's still so much
to go. And I think as well, you know, when Dane and I start trying for a baby, which is hopefully going to be this year, like that's going to be a whole other thing. Hopefully it just happens. But like we're very aware that it may not just happen.
Thank you so much for taking the time to tune in and listen to Mim's story. I think it's a really important one. And thank you so much for opening up.
Yeah, of course.
And being vulnerable. I know that it's so hard, and I know that you've condensed your like whole life into like a 45 minutes, but thank you.
No, of course. Like our goal here really is to help all of you guys who are going through a similar boat. So I really hope that my story, and when you hear Tasha's story, I hope you maybe if you resonate that we can kind of feel a little bit at peace maybe with your symptoms. And I don't know, we just want to help. And as well, like if you've got any questions or you want us to talk about a certain topic, like please let us know. Like we'd love to hear your stories too. Yeah,
definitely. If you have any questions or want to hear more about anything or even advice, like we're here. And
absolutely.
We just want to make sure that what happened in your story that we can help others to not have to have surgeries if we can avoid it.
And hopefully, you know, if someone's mentioned Zoladex or anything to you, like you've heard this, then hopefully that helps too.
Yes, to me, I'd never heard of that. And
so
that is wild. And if anyone says anything to me about that.
No.
No, but thank you guys. And we'll put up next week's episode.
Sunday. And also, like, thank you so much for our little support, community growing.
I know, we're so excited.
It's so exciting. Every day I'm checking, like, how many listens we've had, and it's honestly so heartwarming and amazing. So thank you guys so much.
Yes, it's really amazing. And also shout out to my mum who sent us some beautiful orchids.
Oh, I know. She's such
so
a sweet
cute.
angel. Fan mail.
I know. I was like, wait. She didn't put her name on it either, so I was like, who
Like,
sent us
Anon.
flowers?
Anon sent us
We
flowers.
have a fan.
Yeah, no, thank you guys. It's really, obviously we're still starting out too, so it really means a lot to know that you guys actually like want to listen and that you're
Yes.
hearing it, and yeah, so thank you.
Thank you.
Got